So...
float in midair like this. Oh, I get it. In the very center of the planet, gravity pulls equally from all directions.
I'm pretty sure that's not how it works.
How can I move? There's nothing to grab onto.
Before we do that...
Okay.
I mean, we do have to do that. But, just to save us some time, let's take a look at that.
Oh, it broke.
Decrepit old...
There's actually a specific way we want to arrange it.
Come here.
Do you remember the name of the monster?
Yes.
Dear.
So we want it to say, Dreep, come here.
Yeah.
Not well.
I think the one to the far right is...
Deep. Deep. You.
Let's see here.
Deep. Deep. You're.
I think it's the third and fourth ones.
Deep. Come here.
Yep.
Deep. Come here.
Okay, and leave it playing.
Okay.
Come here.
Pull it off with the hollow thing.
All right.
Deep.
Okay.
Come here.
And we just want to toss it out into the void.
Come
Okay.
here. Deep. Come here.
But now, how do we get around?
Deep. Come here.
Well, we have a jetpack.
Deep.
By which I mean bagpipes.
Ooh.
Deep. Come here.
And by holding down on the buttons, you can charge it up.
Okay.
Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here.
So what we're looking for is in the bottom right,
Okay.
and it's also in a little bit.
Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here.
Other one that's is
Come
in.
here. Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here.
Oh yeah, we're Scotsmen.
Deep. Come here.
I mean, I'm part Irish, and most bagpipes do.
And I mean, I'm part Scottish because Courage identifies as a Scotsman, as you're well aware.
Yes.
Here. Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here.
Oh boy, we're gonna ring that doorbell, and things are gonna be awesome.
Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here.
Not quite what we wanted to do, but you have the right idea.
Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here. Deep.
Gravity.
Come here.
Oh.
Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here. Deep. Come here. What the?
Sailor Mars, Yoda, Darth Vader.
Damn.
Dad! I swear I'll stop her.
Orlok as well, I think. Okay, I think there's something we have to do here.
Congratulations, you did it! That's nice to see someone else has an Aldo sense of humor. That's why you get to hear this, my very own personal Easter egg, instead of the boring plain old death message you see before you there on the screen. Anybody who comes all the way through this game asking everybody you meet about this evil sorceress named Licentia, and then finally finds her, and then tricks Dreep into following a recording of her voice, and then doesn't use the Book of Magic on her, but instead plays the bagpipes, deserves much more than just another boring old death message. So here's my personal thank you for playing the game. And now, enjoy the ending. But whatever you do, don't tell anybody how you got this message. Instead, just taunt them with, "Why, I got a personal message from Al Lowe at the end. And you?"
And that is why the bagpipe is the best item. Luckily, Torin's apparently a quick study.
Apparently.
What? You dare enter my home and attempt your little magic spells on me?
She's not doing so good.
No, seems like she's choking a little. There we go.
How did we do that?
Foolish boy. I have more power in my little finger than you'll ever possess.
Ow.
The collar. Torin. Of course. Who else could remove the collar?
How do you know my name?
I was your nanny.
Nanny?
I saved your life the night your parents were murdered.
Murdered? No! How could you? I thought you had them in a magic spell.
No, Torin. The Farmans are safe. But they're not your real parents. Your real parents were the...
So yeah, we were the
queen of
baby in the
lands
beginning of that
above.
game.
Makes sense.
What? But then I'm...
That's right. You're the next king.
About that.
No, that's wrong. I'm the next king.
Dude, you couldn't even put on clothes. You had to come in with your bathrobe.
Cradle that night, little nephew. After searching for you all these
Nephew?
years, you won't.
Yes. So this is Pekind, the brother of King Huron, who was our father. I can now finally lore dump. In fact, we're gonna have a good opportunity to momentarily. So, there's a bunch of background stuff we don't get unless you dive into the game document, and it was all setting up for, like, the sequels that never happened.
One step closer, boy. And
So, King Huron was older when he got married. Pekind always thought he would be king. And then Huron got married and popped out a kid. That threw a wrench in Pekind's plan. So when the royal family went on a vacation, he plotted, I'm gonna kill them all off, I'll be the next king. Didn't quite work because Licentia saved Torin. When this happened, Kurtzwell, who was basically the chief judge of the lands above, sent the guards out to find Torin. They find Torin with Licentia. Kurtzwell is pretty sure that Pekind was somehow involved. He doesn't have any proof. He doesn't have any evidence that Licentia was not in on this. So he sentences Licentia to be sent to the lands below. And he makes a decree as sort of regent acting king. Yeah, Torin's gonna be the next king because he's the rightful heir to the throne.
Right.
If Pekind so much breathes in the direction of Torin, he is barred from ascending. So Pekind has to spend years searching for this kid. And while he does it, he comes up with a plan. Basically, all arranged things. I know where Licentia is. I've heard rumors that she's becoming a sorceress. If I get her to steal Torin's adopted parents, I can get him to go to the lands below. He'll die on the way there. And even if he makes it all the way down there, Licentia will kill him and then she'll die because the collar will choke her to death. I'll be king. No problem. He did not count on Torin actually releasing Licentia. Once that happens, and he was watching it because he has secret magics of his own and his own sneaky way down here, he figures, screw it! In for a penny, in for a pound, nobody's watching the Null Void, may as well kill everybody. So that's sort of the convoluted plot of this game. But what do we do now? Oh my god, where can we go? That lava bowl. I guess we're going up to that lava bowl.
There's a lava bowl?
Under the crystal.
Oh.
No, don't!
Oh no, what do we do? We're gonna fall, we're gonna fall! We have as much time as we friggin' want.
Oh, okay.
So you can literally try anything at this point. But there's really only one option. Bye, Pekin!
Into the cheese fondue with you.
It's funny you should say that.
Licentia! Licentia, are you okay? That was close. I thought he had you there for a second. Hey, Licentia!
It was actually cheese fondue.
But the lava.
Oh, Torin. That's not lava. That's Dreep's supper dish.
What about my parents and Boogle?
Of course. Torin, I think it's time for all of us to go back home, to the lands above.
Torin, where's my tools? From town, remember?
Son, who's this lady? And is she gonna stay for dinner?
Mom, Dad. Oh, it's great to be home again. Oh.
So you may think it looks sad that Licentia's kind of like not involved in this hug. She's bitter for good reason. She was unjustly sent to the lands below.
Yeah.
She did not know that this kid was king of the lands above. But Torin is literally the one person left that she cares about.
Yep.
And so she is happy that he is happy. But, yeah, this was Torin's passage. And, there's a lot of questions that weren't answered.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, they never were.
Yep.
Allo wrote this with the idea that it was going to be a series, like King's Quest, like Space Quest. He had like 6 games planned or something like that.
Yeah.
And basically the next several games were going to focus on figuring out why the lands below were feuding with each other and reuniting them. So like the next game would presumably be romancing Princess Lena, and there would be challenges in Escarpa related to that. Also, the character Kurtzwell was going to be a bigger part in the sequels. Like, we only know him as Arch Authority, Chief Judge, but Allo implied that Kurtzwell very much has his own agenda, and we have no idea what it is. And, like, as far as Sierra adventure games go, this one was fairly easy, even with me holding your hand for a lot of it. You could have figured all of this out, no problem.
Yeah.
In fact, you did figure most of this out, let's face it. But at this point, it's when the market for adventure games died.
Yeah.
Like, this was one of Sierra's last ones. It was like this, King's Quest 7, Space Quest 6, the last Gabriel Knight game. Which is a shame, because this is not a bad game. It's
No.
not as good as, like, King's Quest 6, but then again, one is.
Yeah.
But there's the seed of something great here.
Indeed.
And I really wish that there were more of these games, that they'd come back to it, but...
Yeah. You would think in the time of, like, Kickstarters and Indiegogos and such that someone would be trying to do that, but I guess it wasn't that big of a thing to warrant it.
Like, Al Lowe has mentioned that, like, he's wanted to, but obviously he doesn't care that much. And the man is 70-something at this point.
Also, Zippy the Wonder Llama.
Zippy the Wonder Llama. But yeah, what did you think of Torin's Passage?
I mean, I definitely think that this was one of the easier Sierra games compared to, like, a lot of the King's Quests, and I'm assuming the Space Quests whenever we get more into those.
Oh, yeah, this is much easier than all of the Space Quests, I want to say! And it's much easier than, like, all of the King's Quests except 7, because...
Yeah, because 7 was made around the same time.
Yep.
And yeah, you could definitely tell, like, the animation was definitely a bit more sharper than it was in King's Quest 7.
Yeah. I mean, it still isn't as good as they wanted it to be, and you could definitely see that in certain scenes.
Yeah, it was a little clunky in certain areas, but it definitely was an improvement from 7, I'll say.
Yep. Like, I think the game that did the best with this style of animation was Space Quest 6, which has some problems. Whenever we get to Space Quest 6, there are going to be parts of that game where I am so mad. So mad!
Oh boy. I'll have to have a Pisha on standby.
Yep. I have opinions on Space Quest 6. But yeah, this is obviously an easier adventure game.
Yeah, I didn't have to save once.
Mm-hmm. And, like, as much as it wasn't perfect, like, Pergola, why was it there?
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, like, and again, they would have explored more of Pergola in the next game, and, like, one of the games would have been, what the hell happened to the people in Esthenia? Like, if you go into the documentation of the game, there is even a description of what the Esthenians were like. Basically, imagine the Thing from Fantastic Four.
Oh.
That was what the Esthenians were supposed to be, but at some point they went extinct, and they had a sense of humor, but something happened to them, and they just ain't around anymore. Or are they? Could there be some hiding?
Yeah, hard to say.
But, yeah, this has been the Landstars Go Through Torin's Passage.
Yes.
Star has had to put up with me, like, geeking out about this game for more than a year now?
Probably, yeah. I think we were geeking out. You were geeking out about it even before we started dating.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. So I'm glad you finally got to experience this game, because,
Yes.
like, even, like, when we started streaming together, like, during the early Hannibal streams, I was like, we could do Torin's Passage and we could find a copy of that game, and you're like, we could.
And lucked out, because it's currently on sale at goodoldgames.com for like $6. So, although we've pretty much showed you what to do, if you want to play this game, there's a way.
There are a couple of Easter eggs that we missed. There's one particular one that shows up randomly in Esthenia, and there's the other one that's a pain in the ass to find in Esthenia. I think we hit most of the deaths. There's a couple
Yeah.
of variations on the peat bog death that we didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
One of which I find hilarious. But, yeah, we're glad for all of our viewers out there that you got to experience this game with us.
Mm-hmm. This was definitely an interesting one. I think we had plenty of laughs along the way.
And, we have to name the part with the sappy tree. Kikyo dies at this episode.
True.
Yes. Oh god. We survived the punpocalypse.
We did.
Oh boy.
Indeed. But I guess we have to leave this mysterious land for better and crazier moments. What they will be? Well, God only knows. But for now, this is the Landstar saying thank you very much for watching.
And have a fond farewell. With crystals.
And singing.
And singing.
And watch out for them bitter nuts.
Yes, it's the bitter nuts. They are the bitter nuts. They're not just bitter, but they're nuts. They're nuts. They're the bitter nuts. That will never leave your brain. It is taking up valuable brain space.
But that's where I store my cheese fondue.
No!
I'm sure there's another place I could stick it. But take care, everybody. Enjoy the rest of whenever this is uploaded.
Bye-bye.